Hey, Jet here with McLogan Supply Company. We're going to demonstrate an on-press two-color registration. This can be a frustrating task for some of you, but we made it very simple by using a power template registration in the darkroom before exposing our screens. The template allowed us to place our artwork in almost the exact same spot on every frame. Then when we get out to the press, it's going to make things much easier to align. We're going to use a cool trick here for doing our two-color registration. That's by using this clear film. This is a single-sided adhesive tape that is primarily used for vinyl graphic application. You may see this in malls a lot when you get a customized sticker made. We're going to actually be using this to cover up our first color that we lay down on our test pellet to register the second color. This is going to allow us to wipe off the second color ink if we need to make any adjustments in between registration, and also make sure we're not picking up any ink onto that second screen. That way we're not flashing in between registration. If we do flash in between, it can kind of tweak with our registration a little bit. Very important to remember when you're doing registration is to use a pretty generous amount actually of spray adhesive on your platen, so we don't want any movement whatsoever of the test pellet. We're going to go ahead and just lay that down nice and flat. You don't want any wrinkles in there. And we'll start by lining up our first frame. Now, when you're registering frames, everyone's got their own method. A lot of times you're going to want to use your most open screen. If you're laying down a white base, obviously this screen is going to have the most open mesh because it's going to have 100% of your artwork in it. In our particular situation, we have a kind of weird background where the color, or the color on top, is actually going to be the only center point on the shirt. So we're going to go ahead and register off the second screen in our situation. We went ahead and loaded it up, but we have not really lined anything up yet. You can see this is all loose. We can see our registration marks in there from the lining up with the power template. So let's just go ahead and load up, bring our head down. And the first thing we're going to do is simply just make sure my center is where I want it. On this particular artwork, I'm just looking for the center line of the crest in the art. We're going to go ahead and lay that down, tighten this up. We don't want any movement, so make sure these bolts are nice and tight. We can then go ahead, load up our first color, lay it down, and then we can move on to the next screen registration. Okay, so after loading a little bit of ink on our screen, we're ready to lay down the first color for our registration process. We don't load much ink up in this point because we are still going to be blocking out our registration marks afterwards, so just make for more cleaning and more of a mess. All we're really trying to do is get the whole image down, and I'm really not even looking for perfect coverage. I just want to see the entire image to register my next screen. And we have a really good print as far as registration goes. We have heavy saturation. I have my registration marks nice and clear. I'm going to go ahead and take this clear tape here and simply put it right over my print. Lay it down nice and flat. And then we can go ahead and line up our second color. Now in this situation, the second color we're registering is actually our background color. So we will change the process or the order of printing once we go to production. So without even doing any kind of adjustments, I am pretty close already to my registration. I'm going to simply loosen this handle here. And using our toolless micros adjustment here, I'm just going to kind of fine tune where my screen is going to land. I'm going to roughly adjust here and then fine tune using these adjustments. All right, so we'll check out our second color here. And our alignment's just a little bit off. We'll make our corrections and we'll go ahead and get into print. So, as I said, this pretty cool trick. We'll take this off. Discard that, put another piece down, make our corrections. Real quick, real simple, ready for production.